On Saturday, Pete Carroll canceled Seahawks practice and addressed the media by giving a speech about racial inequality in America instead of taking questions. Carroll said that white people need to be coached up because, quote, black people can't scream anymore. He also said white people need to be willing to listen because they have accepted a fake history in this country. Shannon, how impactful was this?
It was very impactful, Skip, and I'm a firm believer, Skip, it's never too late. Carroll knows he's not going to receive any backlash. So I'm going to give him credit because he still stepped out. There's still not enough Pete Carrolls. A man that's a head coach or a person, a white coach or a person that's in a position of power that will speak on behalf of the blacks. And Skip, at this point in time, it's not ignorance anymore. It's willful ignorance. Is that you're choosing not to see the history, to say you don't understand why blacks and a lot of people are taken to the streets to protest inequality, to protest injustices, systemic, I don't get it, Skip. You understand. Skip, for the most part, they know the history of America. They know it. They know how blacks were treated less than. Were always told they were treated less than, they were told they were less than, they were given less than. You brought them here in chains. You robbed them of their humanity. You told them this is what you were. Skip, they saw you're not a citizen. You're not human. Just go back and look at case law when they said Plessy versus Ferguson. They said separate but equal. You go back and look at Dred Scott case, Skip, when Roger Twain said a slave can never be a citizen.
Okay.
So for you to say...
He didn't speak about that.
No, but I'm saying, but to say the history of America, the black, and what his place has been in American history, to say, well, I don't know why they want equality. I don't know why they want justice. They got it so good. This is the best country in the world. So because you have equality, because you get justice, damn with the people that seek equality, damn the people that want justice, want equal, not more than, equal justice, equality. So for Pete Carroll to step and say, guys, y'all just listen, hear them out. Don't be dismissive and talk about your snowflake, talk about your complaining, talk about your whining. I commend Pete Carroll for taking this time, taking that opportunity to talk about, guys, y'all ain't even trying to hear them. How much more they can scream? How many more buildings can they burn? How much more stuff can... Guys, it seems what you do is that you take, when people, you know, Dr. King said riots is the voice of the unheard. You take that, but you won't talk about what led them to the streets. Skip, there's something that transpired that led a large block of the population to vote for President Trump. There was something that transpired, didn't it, Skip? You know what it was? It was 2008 to 2016. Factual. Now you can...
Well, it's not factual, but that's your takeaway. That's your...
Skip, you look at what was being said. You look at what was everything that this man did. Skip, they called him to the carpet for a brown suit. They called him to the carpet because he had Starbucks in his hand. And look at what this guy's doing, and everybody's locked up in barrel. Not to get too off topic, Skip.
Let's stay on Pete Carroll.
For Pete Carroll to do what he did, even though it's, Skip, this time is different, it's convenient now. I wish he had done this in 2016. I wish he had done this with Cap. He had an opportunity to sign Cap. He had Cap in there, Skip. That would have been the time, don't you think, Skip Bayless? You had the man in there, the forefront of this movement. You had him in your office. And you let him walk out of there. We didn't even give him a T-shirt to work out in. You didn't even give him a pair of shorts and cleats and said, let me see what you got. Talk to him on the board. Play some film. What you see in here, Cap?
Thank you.
So for me...
When was that? A long time ago.
It seemed like an even longer time ago. But Skip, I'm gonna give...
Where were you, Pete Carroll? Where were you then?
Skip, but I know Skip, it's never too late to do the right thing.
Okay, to answer the question, look, I'll give it impactful because it trended all day and all night on Twitter. I'll give it impactful if it opened one white person's eyes, mind, and heart to what's really going on, what should be going forward in this country.
Right.
If just one soul got saved by this speech that he gave, I'm good with it. But
I feel a butt coming.
There's a big but here. This isn't 20/20 hindsight. I've said this again and again when we discuss what Pete Carroll says before and after games.
Right.
There's a little bit of con artist going on with Pete Carroll. There's a little bit of used car dealer going on with him, salesman going on with him. And I'm never sure how genuine he is. I'm never quite sure how authentic he is. He says what needs to be said to help his teams survive crises and win games.
Right.
But what does he do? Well, he brought in Cap way back when the league needed somebody out there. Just bring him in.
Right.
Don't just pay lip service to it.
Right.
Just pay a little respect.
Right.
And then send him on his way.
Right.
Because that's all that happened.
Right.
You know and I know.
I know.
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
He didn't dress him out. He didn't work him out.
No.
He didn't even put him on the whiteboard or chalkboard.
Right.
He did not do anything except do a little favor, do a little solid for the league. I'll bring him in.
Right.
I'll bring him in.
Right.
Baloney. Stop it. It makes my skin crawl just to think about what happened. And then this is the same Pete Carroll who, when he speaks, I'm never sure he really believes what he's saying. And I watched this whole thing. I watched it from start to finish. And I like a lot of what he said, but it didn't come across with pure, raw, credible emotion to me. Let's not compare it to Doc speech.
You turn the words right on the mouth.
Let's not go there.
Right. Okay.
Again, I like it because any little bit helps.
Right.
And like you say, it's never too late to do the right thing. But some of it came across as so simplistic that it was offensive to me as a white man.
Right.
After a while, Pete, where have you been? This has been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
And it felt like he jumped on the very back of the bandwagon and said, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak out for all you coaches. Where are you? Where are you? You need to do the same thing that I'm doing.
Right.
You need to do the right thing because these players are screaming out.
Right.
They want love. They want respect. Okay, we get that, Pete.
Right.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Go back to George Floyd. He got murdered on Memorial Day weekend or
It was that
weekend.
Yeah.
But it's a while back.
Yeah.
Pete, did you watch what happened in this country? The outpouring over that?
Across the world.
Across the world. Did you watch the protests? I'm going to say it one more time, and I don't want to overstate this, but it was a significant development to me. A lot of white, and they were mostly kids, because there's a whole generation of white people out there who see this and get this and want to fight it.
Right.
They want to act on it. They want to change it forever. And that's why all the racist symbols, and I know they're just symbols, but it's got to start somewhere.
Right.
Take down the statues. All the vestiges of racism and slavery, take them down.
Right.
Eradicate them.
Right.
And it started to happen. Anybody now, that owner of the soccer team in Salt Lake City, you do that, and there's a day he would have gotten away with that, but you're not going to get away with that anymore. So at least we're making bits of progress. We still got a million miles to go. I'm the first to tell you, most of them with police enforcement. It's just so wrong, and trust me on this, we still have a bunch of racist cops in place with badges and guns. And
that should be an automatic. That should be automatic firing.
Okay, I got you. But I loved what the Baltimore Ravens did, because on Friday,
they gave you specifics.
They posted
they gave you
specifics. You need to arrest and charge the officers responsible for Breonna, the whole thing, and the shooting of, in Kenosha. So they went specifically down. This should change, and this better change, and that has to change.
Mitch McConnell, you got legislation on your desk. Bring it to the floor.
You got to drive it home. You're calling people out who need to get called out. And in this case, okay, it's a little...